day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I'm going to be making a card that is similar in layout to one I've made before, but I'm using some different stamps and die cuts and master layouts. So today, I'm going to be making this lovely purple card. This is GinaK's Wild Wisteria, but any color you have will be fine, and it's going to be a horizontal card today. It looks blue on camera, but it is purple. This measures 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, and creased it with my bone folder. Now I have, since this is a dark purple, I have a piece of 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 that's going to go on the inside. And today I'm going to stamp on that. And then for the outside, I use GinaK's Master Layouts 8. But if you don't have that, you don't really need that. This black piece measures 6 3/8 by 4 3/8 and will go right on the center of the card. And I thought that black and that bright purple just really complemented each other. And then I'm using this is the usual stitched edge. This measures 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, and that will go right on top of there. And then I have already cut this out. I just used a piece. Well, I have my white at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, so it's ready to go. I just used that, and then I used GinaK's Master Layouts 8, or 11, excuse me. This was Master Layouts 8. Master Layouts 11 to cut out this like postage square. And it would be a little small for my card since I'm making a 5 by 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it apart. All right, let me get started on that. First thing I want to do, and then I have my envelope because I want to stamp on that today. And I'm going to move my Waffle Flower grip mat over. Oh, and then I also have 3 pieces of black. These measure 1 3/4 by 2.5 inches long. When I cut these out, this is going to give a shadow layer behind this. And this doesn't come with a die to do that. So I made those measurements up myself. I have my Waffle Flower grip mat here. It's a little sticky. I think I didn't wash it yesterday like I was going to after I used my eraser on it. But that's all right. You just need to get it a little damp and it'll work just fine. I'm going to ink blend the background before I stamp on it. I'm going to use this I Love Your Smile stamp that I just got in that GinaK mystery bundle or box. I don't remember which one this came in, but I want to use that today. I'm going to use Wild Wisteria. So I'm going to get my purple brush, and I need just a piece of scrap white because I'm not sure what color purple was on this brush before. Well, that would have been pretty, whichever one that was. Just get that off there a little bit. And I want this to be fairly light, but not so pale you can't see it. And I'm just going to ink over the whole thing. And I'm going to turn it around so I can. And I want it to kind of look ethereal, if that's the word I'm going for. I don't want it to be a solid color. I want it to be speckled. Now you could keep going with this so that it would be smooth. But the look I'm going for is rustic, I guess. Not all the way filled in. And I'll bring it up to show you that's kind of how I want it. It'll make sense once you stamp on it. And that's all I need my grip mat for. So I'm just going to clean that off. The rest is going to be stamping. Okay. Where did I put the top? There it is, right where it's supposed to be. Okay. Now I'll get out my stamping platform. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these once I'm done stamping. Okay. I'm going to get rid of my blending brush before I get ink where I don't want it today. And these flowers come with shading, or it's a layering stamp, I guess is what I want to say. And I haven't played a whole lot with layering stamps, so I wanted to give it a try today because I have an idea. I'm going to use these 3 flowers, and I'm going to put one of the flowers on 3. So one won't have the shading, but 2 will. And then I might decide to just do 2 flowers the same. So I might put another one of these up there. We'll see. But I've got 4 to work with. And I'm going to stamp these with my VersaFine Clair. In the color Nocturne. Any black will work. I'm going to do it one more time because I'm going to stamp over it. And I'm only going to do it on one to see if I like it. I want that to be nice and dark. Okay. And I'm going to take, you know what? I'm going to do another sunflower just in case that doesn't turn out. Because I'll stamp the sunflower first. And with this cutting 4, this gives me an extra one to practice on. And I didn't condition these stamps, but you can see how well they worked. And I got black ink behind that, so I'll just clean that off. All right. Now, okay, let's put these back on where they go. Okay, and I'll try the sunflower first. That would be this one. If I can get that to, is that for the sunflower or is that one for here? I thought that one was for the sunflower, but it may not be. This one I know is for here. But then again, maybe these aren't. I thought these would be like shadow. You know, I'm going to try one on the sunflower just to see. I cut a couple extra just to play it. And this is what I was wanting to do if these were shadow layers. Just take dark lilac and go over it. Okay, what if I turn that and let's move you down here somehow. This obviously is not for shadowing, or at least for the sunflower. But I like the idea of having that darker inside. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I guess I'll have to look up this set and what you use these for. I would think that they would be for layering, but maybe they're for layering around this one. That doesn't make sense either. I'll have to look at that. So I want the insides to be a little bit darker. So I'm just going to take and see if I have a little purple brush here. I don't. So I'm going to take just one of these little mini blending brushes and just pick up a little bit of the ink and make this center flower darker. Just coloring it in slightly, not a lot. So I'll use this one as a center flower. And that did make it a little pretty. a little bit darker. Okay. I'm going to try. No, I'm just sticking to that one, but I want it to be a little darker. So I'm just going to go over it a couple of times here. All right, that looks good. Now clean that off. Okay. Now, just going to cut these apart right down the middle as best as I can. I was never very good at cutting straight, even when using a ruler, but not too bad. That one is a no-go for that card. Okay, now I'm going to clean the ink off my finger here. Before I get over to my actual card and get it where I don't want it. All right. Okay. Well, geez, that's a little disappointing that those weren't what I thought they were, but it worked out good. Okay, I'm going to put these two together, the black and the white. And line them up as straight as I can. And get rid of that extra glue down the side. Thought I used a little too much glue. Okay. One nice thing about liquid glue is you have a moment to turn it and move it around. All right. Now this is going to go on the front of the card. And I want to pop this up. I really do. So I'm going to use my foam tape. And I want to get back up on the screen here where you can see. I'm just using my 1/2-inch foam tape. And I'll just put 4 pieces across. I hope I wasn't off camera for the coloring of that inside. All right. Well, I'll make up for it because I'm going to stamp the inside and the envelope. So I'll use some of the ink to color the inside and the envelope so you can see. Just putting a little liquid glue. Now I'm going to stand up and get that centered to the best of my ability. All right. A little bit of a smudge of glue here. Get that off with my adhesive eraser. Okay. Now, these, I want to mount these on those little black squares. And make sure they're straight and not crooked. Have you noticed a tendency in yourself to glue one direction? I notice that if my gluing tends to be crooked, it tends to be further down on the right than the left. Who knows what that says about my brain, but it's just something I have noticed and have tried to pay a little bit more attention to when I'm gluing things on to keep them straight. Now, I want to stamp on here, and I should have done that already, but I did not. So what I'm going to do, let's see, I want this one to be in the middle. My layout here isn't quite what I think I have this layout in mind, and then I also had doing it like this. But then I didn't know where I'd put that. I like that in a way. if I move that, and then have my stamping up here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Now, I know some of you probably would have said, no, go straight across. It's just my brain's telling me to do this. Not sure why, but that's what it's telling me to do. Oh, that's too much. Okay, we're going with I'm not paying attention to my brain today. I'm going straight across. I want to get these before I lay them down too much. Get these across to make sure they're straight, and that one's centered. That's why I like liquid glue. It has a little wiggle room, but once it sticks, it sticks. Okay, now this is GinaK's Hello and Shadow die. I cut it out in Silver Mirror. Then I also did a little bit of black on the back. And I didn't do it all the way up because I was going to layer it. And well, I'm still going to layer it. But that just gave it a little bit extra oomph. I'm going to use this acetate to put my glue on with. And a lot of glue just came out all at once. This is just art glitter glue. It's in a fine tip bottle. I finally refilled it. And because I hadn't filled it in a while, what glue was in the tip dried out. So I had to clean that out. All right, now I'm just going to use the tweezers here so I don't get glue where I don't want it on my fingers. I put that here. And I'm just going to get a little glass block, a little acrylic block, not glass, and hold that down for just a moment while I stamp on the envelope and on the inside of the card. And then I will stamp down here. Okay, since my card is going horizontal, all right, you move over here. Let's put the glue back in, the pin back in the glue bottle. And that one together. Trying to stay organized this year. May or may not work. Okay, this is the inside. That's going to be horizontal. I'm going to put it over here on the left. I'm going to use that same flower, and then I will ink up the middle. Okay, I'll use my VersaFine Clair. And that looks good. And then I'm going to put the same flower on the envelope. But I usually put, when I do an envelope, I put it down here in the lower left corner. And well, wow, that was very close. Okay, done stamping. Now, since I'm not sure if I was on or off camera, I'm going to take this and my little brush and take the dark lilac. I'm pretty sure I was on camera, but I'm just going to blend it in and do a little coloring. I love these little tiny brushes now. I love a lot of things about card making. I would think you could do the same with any stiff bristle brush that maybe you could get at a craft store. This would really work if you had watercolor paper and a watercolor brush, or just a paintbrush, because you could use the same ink to watercolor with. Okay, so I have my envelope is done. And that's done. All right. I just see that my YouTube channel name is on screen. I'm going to have to check and see if that is going to be on screen for the whole video. If not, it looks like maybe StreamYard did a setting change and I'll have to change it back. Because I really don't want my name, the channel name, going across the screen and blocking some of the things I might be doing. I'll just have to check on that. Okay, now this should be dry. And I didn't get enough glue up here, so I'm going to have to put a little bit more glue up there, but I will do that after I do my last stamping. Now, I have these, this is from Pinkfresh Studios. They're Wildflower Slimline. I think I want to put plant yourself so that your heart will grow. No, you are amazing. Remember that always. Pardon me. Kind of want to put that right there. Make sure my card is centered in the corner. And then I'm just going to use the Nocturne for that. And I'll do one more inking. And I'll use my stamping helper here. One more ink. Would have been a lot easier if I would have remembered to do that first. But this works in a pinch. Okay, clean that stamp off. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue the inside down. And then I'll use a little bit of glue here. And then I'll add a little bit of bling. Done with this glue bottle. Just adding a little bit more glue behind that tip of the L. And I'm going to hold that down for just a moment. Now, I've got some regular old rhinestones. Then I have some clear ones. Let me get a couple of these clear ones out just to see how they would look on here. They're a little bit too pale. I kind of like that layout. 1, 2, and 3. And then let's see how my plain old rhinestones would look. That doesn't want to stay down there. And then I think a couple rhinestones down here. So I'm going to get my little glue bottle. Now, when you first see these, the glue will be white, so it will look a little funky. But once the glue dries, they will be perfectly clear again. And that really doesn't want to stay down. All right, now, I think I want to do 1, 2, and 3. And I'm putting a little bit extra glue because I'm going to try and take the glue off the back of these. That has been giving me fits lately, so I'm peeling the glue off of them. It's nice to have them on there, but these ones in particular, the glue seeps out the edges and shows, and I don't like that showing. All right. Now that I'm going to have to glue down a little bit more. I think that's all the bling I'm going to put on today's card. Well, that's it for today. And that is the inside and the coordinating envelope. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.